and welcome back to episode 3 of TBR 2.0. My name is Bree and this is 4 Paws in a Book. If you couldn't tell by the copious amounts of gold and red and green, it's Christmas time. And that means that we are doing TBR a little bit Christmas-fied. I took all of the TBR 2.0 books off of my cart, mostly because my Christmas tree is there, and I put them in stockings. I put this up on my shelf 2 weeks ago. I have no idea which books are where. I don't remember anything. And so you and I are going to pick a stocking together, and we're gonna get a book. That's how we're going to do this week. Here we go. These are the stockings. Like I said, I don't know which one's which. And I don't know what I want to read either. So let's just pick one. What one is calling to me? I think I'm gonna go with one of the ones that is like has the white font. I'm thinking we start purple. Let's start with the purple. And that is going to be, oh, it's paperback. Okay, The Brightness Outside Us. Honestly, I have been reading so much fantasy romance recently that I'm excited about a sci-fi. So here we are. Last night I finished part 1 of The Brightness Between Us, and I actually ended up reading it physically. I was reading it on Patreon sprints last night and then just continued reading it. I felt like I wanted to physically read, which is a weird feeling, but it's something that I am trying to build up and kind of get back into. I'm feeling like I'm falling into the trap, and I either have or will talk about this on my goals video for 2025, that I feel like my reading has all been for content recently, and I've kind of overexerted myself. And while I like doing that because I like the challenge and the drive and the push, because, you know, I'm neurodivergent and I need a challenge, I'm finding that because I had so many reading vlogs and then it was like I have to read a book a day, well, the only way to do that physically is to do it with an audiobook because I'm driving and I'm, I work and I can listen to an audiobook. And so that was just basically the thing. And I was finding that it was like, well, I'm more productive if I listen to an audiobook and also do another thing. And audiobooks are fine. They're great. I love them. But I don't want to get into that mindset of I have to be productive, and so therefore I will listen to an audiobook. Does that make sense? I want to be able to enjoy the art of reading again. So that's exciting. Like I'm getting my new Kindle for Christmas. I ended up getting the Color Soft because I kind of feel like the problems that people had with it are things I can deal with, and I just wanted the color. So I'm getting that for Christmas, and I just want to be able to like physically sit down and read. All that to be said, I read 110 pages last night, which was all of part 1, and I don't know how I feel about it yet. This is one of those things that it's like, I don't know why this book needed a sequel, okay? Because it ended in a very like satisfying way. It didn't need a sequel. When it was announced, we were like, whoa, okay, that's interesting. But now I've gotten to part 2. I did turn on the audiobook because I was driving today and I did want to continue the story. And we go back in time because we start with like them on the planet. I'm going to really try hard not to spoil things because there is a lot of spoilers in this book, or in the first book, and then this one obviously continues it. So this one, like part 1 starts at the end of The Darkness Outside Us, but then part 2 is actually before The Darkness Outside Us even starts. So we're kind of going back and forth. We're jumping time, like timelines, and that's interesting. We're getting a lot of like background information that is like one of those things that like, okay, I didn't need this for the original book, but it's cool to have, if that makes sense. Plus, this audiobook is fantastic. So that's the project for today. I'm actually going to go get a tattoo, and that's what I'm going to be doing this afternoon. I don't know that I'll listen to it while I'm getting my tattoo. It's not a very big one, but like it's weird to like have an audiobook in while your tattoo artist is like just there. Anyways, that being said, that's my I wanted to check in after part 1. I don't know that I will do it for every part because there's like 7 parts, and I don't think I need to talk that much. But maybe, I don't know. We'll see what gets resolved. Hello. I have a couple of updates for you because I haven't talked to you in a bit. Yesterday I finished The Brightness Between Us by Elliot Trevor. This is the sequel to The Darkness Outside Us, like I talked to you about. And I said I was gonna like update you after every part, and that didn't happen because I just finished the whole thing. I don't know how I feel about this one. I think that it's really interesting. We had some like interesting flashbacks because it was taking place like both in way in the future, and also in like before the Endeavor even like left Earth. So there's like some interesting ways of like, you know, filling in the gaps of things that we didn't necessarily need, but it was cool to have. But I never connected to the characters. I never connected to the new characters the way that I did with The Darkness Outside Us. I can never remember the title. These are too long. So yeah, I never connected. And that's on me, probably, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars, which is kind of disappointing, because I loved the first one so much. Like, it was a best book of the year that I read it. And this one is just like, I don't know, a little, I'm whelmed by this book. That's the best way to put that, honestly. So then yesterday morning, I knew that I was going to finish this book. So I went ahead and grabbed a book out of the stocking, and that was His Majesty's Dragon. Then I proceeded to forget my AirPods at work. Not at work. When I went to work, I forgot them at home. So I didn't get to start this until last night. I read about 15% of this and realized I didn't care. I'm not gonna waste my time with it. So like, this is 9-book series or something like that. Do I really want to start a new series that is that long that is just fine? Because I know for a fact it's going to take me 2-3 years to continue the series, even if I finish this one. So I'm just gonna DNF it, and we're gonna pick another one. So let's do that. Let's do a fuzzy one. I feel like we haven't done a fuzzy one yet. Let's do this one. Right in the center. Oh, I know what this one is. I'm worried about this one. Okay, so apparently I haven't read enough fantasy romance this year yet, or this month even. This is Sanctuary of the Shadow. This has been on my TBR for so long. I'm pretty sure I pre-ordered this book. It's one of the first post Fourth Wing Red Tower books. I mean, it's gorgeous. It has the pretty sprayed edges. It's got like this really cool cover. I would say that it's probably less detailed, less like, you know, over the top. Now like Red Tower has even more so now, but this was like the first post Fourth Wing Red Tower book, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, sprayed edges. I haven't heard a single good thing about this book. So I may be coming to you in a few hours with another DNF, but hey, at least we are getting a bunch of books off of the TBR for this video. Who knows though? It's a circus. I might like it. We'll see. Hello. Happy Wednesday afternoon. I got a new tripod for my phone because nothing was working that I had, and so we're back to filming in my car until I figure out a camera solution. It's fine. Anyways, I'm just sitting in a drive-thru getting my prescriptions, and I thought I would chat because I am 30% of the way through Sanctuary of Shadow. And like I said, I had very low expectations of this book. Not many people have liked it, okay? It's not a circus book. And that's, I think, the biggest thing is like people go in expecting it to be a circus book, and they're not at the circus for very long. But I'm having a good time with it, honestly. I'm not hating it. I'm kind of enjoying it. It's not like the best thing I've ever read, but I don't think it's terrible. Yeah, like I'm kind of having this, there's basically the whole idea is that like she is trying to rescue this guy. Like being a wraith is bad. Like you'll be killed, and this guy's name is Wraith, and so then people think he is one of the wraiths. I don't really know. Like I said, it's not like phenomenal literature, but I like our main character. She's kind of badass. She's kind of like, you know, she's the one that is like looking out for this guy and is like, no, like, you know, he's gonna die. Like, oh, I'll train him for the circus, so that like she can rescue him, essentially. That's about as far as I've gotten. So not very far. I don't know. The banter is kind of fun. And there's this like, you know, it's not a heist, but it's kind of this reverse heist where they're just trying to rescue this guy. Honestly, like I thought I was going to hate it by this point. And maybe that's the key. Maybe you go in with the lowest of expectations for a book and you will be pleasantly surprised. But that being said, I'm not going to DNF it. I am going to finish the book. I don't know how much I will talk to you about it, just because like I don't know how much I can talk to you about it. But I wanted to give you guys an update that like I don't hate the book. I am enjoying it. I'm having a good time, and that's where we're at. I'm just gonna go pick up my prescriptions. Of course, they had to be done and ready at like 4:30, and that's when everybody wants their prescriptions. So at least there's a drive-through, and I don't actually have to go inside, because that would be annoying. But I'm gonna continue listening to it. I will update you. I think I have it. Libby says, fortunately, I was able to find the audiobook, and also the audiobook is well done. Like, it's well produced. I hate planes. There's a jet flying ahead over. Anyways, the audiobook is really, really well done. It's well produced. The narrator is fantastic, and like it's adding to the magic of it, I guess. So I'm very glad for that. It's also on KU, so I can physically read it as well. But I was listening to it this morning as I was finishing up my reading journal, and I filmed that, so I do need to edit that video so that I can give early access to my patrons, because I think that's Thursday's video. So I do need to hurry that along. We're having a good time. We are living, laughing, loving. Okay, I gotta go. We're moving. I finished Sanctuary of the Shadow by Aurora Asher, and I will say that as we went along, I got less and less interested. I think that this author tried to do way too much. There was a lot going on. It's like, you know, there's this conversation about elementals and almost the politics of it. It's almost trying to like combat racism, but with these like elementals. And I think a lot of the concepts were really interesting, and I will say she does know how to write smut, because some of the scenes were hot. They were very good. The rest of the writing I just think felt a little bit lackluster. It felt half-baked. So I'm giving this 3 stars. I did not hate it in any way. I don't think it quite lived up to the expectation that I thought it was going to at the beginning. However, I was not really that upset that a lot of it doesn't take place at a circus like we thought it was going to. I think that's like just a marketing problem. I don't know. I actually thought she was a debut author. I was like, okay, you know, it's not bad for a debut. And then I went on Goodreads and I realized that she has an entire other series, so not a debut. So then I was like, well, okay, you should know how to plot a story better and be able to hit the high points and be able to fill in the gaps a little better if this is your like 5th or 6th book versus it being your first one. Anyways, I'd like to try to do one more. I feel like trying to get 3 books finished, 4 books off of the TBR before we finish this. So that should be a win. And I kind of just want to pick this one on the very end because it's hiding behind the tree. And I just dropped an ornament. So here we go. Also, this one's like the Santa Claus. So, okay. This is very different than what I've been reading recently, and I'm kind of here for that. Kind of here for this. I kind of need a thriller. So that's what we're going to do. And this is the sequel to The Housemaid. I think it has like its own kind of story. I don't know. Let's see. It's hard to find an employer who doesn't ask too many questions about my past. So I thank my lucky stars that the Garricks miraculously gave me a job cleaning their stunning penthouse with views across the city and preparing fancy meals in their shiny kitchen. I can work here a while, stay quiet until I get what I want. It's almost perfect, but I still haven't met Mrs. Garrick or seen the inside of the guest bedroom. I'm sure I hear her crying. I notice spots of blood around the neck of her white nightgowns as I'm doing laundry. And one day I can't help but knock on the door. When it gently swings open, what I see changes everything. All right, well, Douglas Garrick has done wrong. He's going to pay. It's simply a question of how far I'm willing to go. Okay, well, that's fun. I think that'll be a really good way to end out this vlog with just a fast-paced, action-packed thriller. And I've read a lot of Frida this year, so it feels like a good way to end. Well, that's all I got for you right now. Hello. I am sitting here freaking out a little bit. I had to drop Doyle off at a oncologist because we're getting a cancer screening done on him. He has no symptoms or anything like that. He doesn't have a cancer diagnosis, but we had a message come through about one of his litter mates, and so we're just taking precautions. But I'm terrified, right? Because Doyle is my soul dog, and I'm just scared. So anyways, had to drop him off, pick him up this afternoon, and I'm hoping that everything will be okay. We probably won't even know. By the time like I'm filming this, I probably won't even know anything because it's like we have to get like labs done and stuff. I'll let you know in a future vlog, but here's hoping. Hi Schmidt, what's up? He wants to say hello. Hi. Hello. How are you? Anyways, I am like 50% done with The Housemaid's Secret. And like, here's the thing. Frida knows how to write a story that you can binge. I stayed up to like midnight reading this last night. I ended up like, I was listening to the audiobook for a while. I do like the audiobook, but I then downloaded it on my Kindle because it's on KU, and I just started reading it there. And yeah, stayed up till like midnight reading it till I like physically was falling asleep. And this is, I mean, it's typical Frida, right? I actually thought it was a different character at first because like it's very vague, but now it's starting to like, you understand that it was the same character from the first book. And you know, she's with a different you know, she's a housekeeper for a different person now. You know, everything looks like it's very obvious. Everything looks like, you know, she's trying to help out the wife of this person because he seems to be like a straightforward, terrible person. But obviously, because it's Frida, it's going to be something different. It's going to be something more than that. And then there's also some characters that are coming in from the previous book that are also being a little shady. And anyway, yeah, so that's what I'm, you know, I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time, and it's very binge worthy. I will finish it up today. The audiobook says I have an hour and 56 minutes left on my listening speed. So I have a couple of things that I do need to take care of this afternoon, but other than that, I'm just going to be reading this and enjoying myself and trying to like take my mind off of Doyle being at the vet right now. Everything's gonna be fine. He, like I said, he is not showing any symptoms or anything like that. He doesn't have any precursors, anything like that. But it's always nerve-wracking because my mind is going to the worst case scenario. Anyway, yeah, I don't have a lot to talk about, but here we are. Okay. Hello, I finished The Housemaid's Secret last night. Let me tell you, that was so much fun. That was such a fun read, and I'm sorry that I put it off. I think I don't want to say it's better than The Housemaid. Oh, although I am going to give it 4.5 stars, so I guess technically it is. I think that we've just learned that like who Frida is as an author, right? She's just kind of bonkers. It's tropey, but that's what makes it good. And so I don't know, it was just like such a fun time. And the only reason I'm not giving it 5 stars is that because I know what Frida was trying to do, or like what she historically does, I kind of figured out what was going on. Not everything, but I could kind of tell you that like everything is not as it seems. Nothing is as straightforward as it seemed. And so like I kind of guessed some things, but not everything. Not everything. And it was fun, and it was a good time, and I definitely will be finishing up the series early next year, unless maybe it fits for Scatagorathon at the end of the month, and I would be able to like finish it out and read another series this year. That would be exciting. I put out the Scatagorathon prompts. I know one of the prompts will fit it because I have a prompt for like finishing a series. I just can't remember if any of the letters will work. I want to say there's a T in there. I don't know. I made the prompts. Do I remember them? No. That's neither here nor there. I enjoyed it. I had so much fun. 4.5 stars. And that was a great closeout for TBR 2.0. I don't know how we're going to do this next year, because I think what I'm going to do, I mean, I'm going to be putting these books back up on my shelves because it's the end of the year. Also, I'm doing like my physical TBR video, and I want everything kind of reset for January. I have another idea for like a series like this, but eventually I would also like TBR 2.0 to come back, because this cycle will happen again, right? Where I will put books on my TBR every month and then not actually read them, especially because a lot of my vlogs going into 2025 are going to be more mood reading vlogs, more spur of the moment, spinner wheels, random something chooses my TBR. I'm kind of thinking about doing like a pet pick chooses my TBR for a week, and letting Doyle and Schmidt pick my books for a week. That would be fun. So, you know, stay tuned for that. That's my thoughts. I don't know what I'm gonna do. We'll see. Stay tuned, because everything else is gonna go back on my shelves. That is all I got for you right now. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, for watching. Let me know down in the comments below what you are doing for Christmas, for the holiday season, whatever holiday you celebrate, as this is coming out right around that time. And if you're not feeling chatty, do a stocking emoji. Is there a stocking emoji? Because, you know, we were picking this out of a stocking. That makes sense. I think there's a stocking emoji. If you want to see another video that YouTube thinks that you're going to like, I'm going to put one right here, and I will see you over there. That is all I have for you today. If you are new here and you haven't yet subscribed, there's a little button you can do so down below the video. If you'd like to hang out with me more, the links to my Instagram, Goodreads, Twitter, and my Patreon are linked in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!